This is the performing songwriter, and my name is Ray Naylor. My guest today is Julia Levitina. Born in Odessa, Ukraine, Julia has lived in the U.S. since she was a teenager and now lives in the Philadelphia area. In addition to being a performer and songwriter, Julia is an accomplished artist and figure skater. Her debut EP was released in October 2017, and Julia has been performing all over the Philadelphia area. I'll be back to talk to Julia in a couple of minutes, but here she is singing one of her original songs on The Performing Songwriter.
The song's called Rubicon. It's the first song on the new EP. It goes like this. Do you worship on the stars? Watch them sparkle and fade. Would you dance in the dark, where the streets have no name? Will you be my Rubicon? Cross was me, the Rubicon, just a shallow stream 40 miles long, where the rivers end, seas continue on. When you look up at the sky, do you dream about it too? If we were not afraid, how much more would we do? Will you be my Rubicon? Cross was me, the Rubicon, just a shallow stream 40 miles long, where the rivers end, seas continue on. I'll go seek the great, perhaps, 'cause the die will live but once, so great stories go. Will you be my Rubicon? Cross was me, the Rubicon, just a shallow stream 40 miles long, where the rivers end, where the rivers end, where the rivers end, seas continue on.
Julia, thanks a lot for being a guest on the show today.
Thank you so much for having me. It is my pleasure.
Now, you came to the U.S. when you were a teenager.
I did.
When did you start performing for people?
For people with my guitar?
Yeah,
For people?
singing. And
Actually, not that long ago. I picked up a guitar for the first time, really, about 5 years ago. I played piano when I was little. I always wanted to learn to play guitar, but never kind of had the opportunity. And then I was very inspired by a number of singer-songwriters, acoustic singer-songwriters, notably Josh Ritter. And I saw him play Free at Noon, and I was like, I gotta learn this guy's songs. So I started learning to play guitar, and then I started writing my own material. I've always written poetry, and so I guess it was a fun challenge to kind of put it to music. And
so it's really the last couple of 2 or 3 years that you've actually gone out in front and sang.
And sang.
Cool. You mentioned Josh Ritter. Who have there been other influences in terms of your music?
My influences are very kind of odd because I didn't grow up here at all. So I'm desperately trying to kind of find my way through the kind of rock and roll history and Arlo Guthrie and Woody Guthrie and the whole tradition that I feel I'm now a part of. But really I grew up with Italian and French singer-songwriters. So it's the few covers that I know are covers like that. So among them are Francis Cabrel, oh my God, what's his name? I'm totally spacing out. Serge Gainsbourg, just the great French bards I grew up with, and the great Russian bards. One of them is Vladimir Vysotsky, who's probably not very well known in the U.S., but is revered like John Lennon, kind of revered in Russia. And those are the songs that I grew up with, just French and Russian acoustic, very lyrically driven tunes.
Now, you mentioned, it was either in your bio or in one of the interviews that you were part of, that you don't separate your music from your other art.
I don't.
Explain what you mean by that.
To me, it's a continuity. So I feel like they are complementary to one another as opposed to separate from one another. So I feel that art just has an expression in different mediums rather than kind of separating one from the other, and I think it enriches one another. So for me, as a sculptor, playing guitar became just a different way of using my hands. Mm-hmm. Figure skating is a different way of using my body, but it's very continuous.
Do you find that creating your sculptor and also a drawer and an artist in general, but sculpture, I think, is what you're probably most known for. Would that be?
Well, yeah, I'm a sculptor.
What is there a similarity between creating art versus creating a song, or are there differences?
I mean, I think the process is similar in a lot of ways. And when we talk with my singer-songwriter friends who are professional singer-songwriters, we really can relate, even though it's different ways of handling the art itself in terms of its craft. It's actually really similar. So to me, writing a song is kind of like sketching something out, putting something up, then developing it and working it, and then I cast in bronze, which to me I found the first EP that I recorded. That was my first time in the studio last year, and I found that it was very similar to casting in metal and then doing all the adjustments that are required to make it just so. And you constantly are building on that original thought, that original idea that gives birth to then the rest of the process.
You've said that to you, in terms of a song, it's finding something extraordinary out of the ordinary.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about that and how it relates to your songwriting.
I write songs from experience, from observing the everyday, from interacting with people. I mean, the going to the moon in Charles Lindbergh's biplane, I guess that was a little bit of an imaginary kind of leap, which is sort of unusual for me. And but it still was born out of, I'm a big fan of all of that's airspace and aerodynamics and stuff like that. So I read a lot about it, and that song was inspired by that. So it's basically I'm observing everyday world and things that seem ordinary, in fact, can possess a lot of extraordinary qualities that are worth singing about. Just about our challenges as human beings, and trying to overcome those challenges in order to arrive at something, whether it's personal or professional or in any other sphere. And I admire that a lot. And I think that just by virtue of interacting every day and just like living our lives, it's easy to take something like that for granted. And I feel like, to me, writing a song about it, creating a piece of art about it, for that matter, is kind of having an insight, and as an artist, having the ability or the gift to notice that and then to bring it to the attention of my audience.
Okay. We're going to hear some more of your songs, and before we do that, I'm going to play a part of a video for our next guest. Her name is Loretta Hagen, and her husband, who plays guitar along with her, Gary. He's also will be here. Now, this particular song is actually a Christmas song, but the quality of the audio was really good, so I wanted to play this. It's called Santa, If You're Listening. So again, this is Loretta Hagen. She'll be my next guest. She's coming in a few days, so it'll be next week that you'll probably see this. And then we'll be back, and Julia will sing some more of her original material.
How the holidays have changed. Each year more of their meaning fades. They sneak up on us like a wave that washes out to sea. Here I am on Christmas Eve with so fewer gifts to give. Been trying to make ends meet these days. There's just no easy way. Santa, if you're listening, can you find me work? I lost my job back in the spring, and I feel I've lost my worth. I can stretch $1, but it don't cover much. Santa, if you hear me, could you get me through this month?
So this song is called Edge of the World, and it's also on the new EP. It goes like this. You say hello in my car in a parking lot. So much to say, but don't talk, it's absurd and scary to move when you're perched at the edge of the world. What if I fall? Oh, but my darling, what if you fly? What if you fly? Wish I could hold you close in my arms like I do in my mind. Maybe next life around. You turn away, run your hands through your hair and wait. Rain outside falls angry and fast, hitting walls you built in your heart that don't seem to get past. What if I fall? Oh, but my darling, what if you fly? What if you fly? Wish I could hold you close in my arms like I do in my mind. Maybe next life around. I try to smile, change my mind and sit next to you quiet. Smoke in your eyes, a cigarette ash. I want you open the door and look over the edge. stay? What if you stay? Wish you would hold me close in your arms somewhere. Someday, maybe we'll be okay. So this is a song that's going to be most likely the title track of the next record, and it's called Going to the Moon in Charles Lindbergh's Biplane. It goes like this. How far to the moon? 250,000 miles high. I considered the sky. I said, see you all soon. I'll be back when I've gone to the moon. How I'd love to know if the footprint's still there. Are the skies as dark, the terrain as bare? Can you see the stars by a small blue speck? I thread the needle of my heart and I wait. Gravitational waves parting for my biplane, like Red Sea before Moses, aeronautically plane. Lindbergh's rudder and stick, one exceptional pick. I'll be back, but I won't be the same. How I'd love to know if the footprint's still there. Are the skies as dark, the terrain as bare? Can you see the stars by a small blue speck? I thread the needle of my heart and I wait. Satellites are sailing by, miracles lie in the timing. Ain't no city limit lines for this biplane I am flying. I jump orbits and pray, ride a radio wave. I'll stand all alone on that planet one day. I'll admire the view, green aurora display. I think I like it on the moon, so I'll stay. Then I'll know for sure if the footprint is there. Are the skies as dark, the terrain as bare? I will count the stars by a small blue speck. I'll thread the needle of my heart and I'll wave. I'll thread the needle of my heart and I'll wave. I'll thread the needle of my heart and I'll wave. And this tune is the title track from my EP, and it's called Take Your Time Loving Me. I'm hardly your Juliet, and what do you bet? You don't ride no white horse. Hell, we don't know how we met. Guess the stars misaligned, and the whiskey sets you free for just one night. So take your time loving me. You ain't no Prince Charming, and I'm through with love, but we keep chasing one another like ships in the night. And with every year that passes, it gets harder to see, but it's fine. time loving me. Take your time, wait for love. Ooh, I don't mind, I'll wait for love. Love ain't all fairy tale tucked up on the shelf. It ain't you against the dragon, no, it's you against yourself. No, we cast our own dark shadows and we swim around rough seas. I'm not scared, take your time loving me. Take your time loving me. Take your time loving me.
That was a slide of a number of our upcoming shows the next probably 2 months. So hope to have you come back. Even though we're talking about your songwriting here, as I said, you are an artist. I want you to talk a little bit just about your art so people can have a sense of that too.
I think it's really, I approach it in the very same way as I approach my songs. It's my art is figurative, so it's always born out of the world that surrounds me. I'm treating the themes of human conditions, kind of the strife and the triumph of it, which is what my songs are about as well. And and then I cast in bronze, I sculpt in clay, and I do a lot of sketching. That's very, it always interacts really with my music, because I'll sketch, I'll make notes, and then I'll later on draw from that for both my visual art and
did you recently have an exhibition in Paris?
I did. I had a solo show of my sculpture in Paris. I also got to play some house shows.
Cool.
In Paris, I actually played at my opening. They invited me to organize a musical evening, so it was kind of fun to be there playing guitar surrounded by my work. And it was well attended. It was a lot of fun.
Now, you're obviously a very busy person, but I wanted to ask you, any plans to do any kind of touring?
Touring with my music?
Yeah.
Well, because I released the EP at World Cafe Live, which was a really fun night. And then I immediately left for Europe. I've been back for a week and a little bit now, and I have a whole bunch of just really fun, I call it my acoustic warm-up tour. Warm-up winter tour, because we could all use warming up this winter. So I have a bunch of dates at all the different coffee shops in the Tri-State area. For the most part, they're coffee shops and listening rooms. So, for example, on the 2nd, I'm playing at a coffee shop called Evermore Coffee in Burlington, New Jersey. On the 3rd, I'm very excited to be sharing a bill with Kyle Schwartzwelder. And we're going to be playing the Random Tea Room that's in Fishtown. That's absolutely an adorable coffee shop. It looks like something right out of Harry Potter. And they have all these little objects and stuff. I'm playing Wilma Wednesday tomorrow. And I have some other dates coming up right through February. And it's all kind of solo acoustic in support of my EP. And I'm hoping to schedule some band shows. I haven't yet, but I'm really looking forward to that as well.
And that's February 2018, since this will be on the internet forever, or a long time anyway.
Yes, this is 2018.
I want to talk a little bit about your EP, and it's called Take Your Time Loving Me. talk a little bit. I wanted to ask you, do the songs on here, is there like a common theme, would you say?
I would say so. I think that most of my songs are about going the distance, about having courage to go the distance, having courage to take risks, having courage to not be tentative about life, to just kind of go for it and have no regret. And I think all of those songs on that record, and I think really that's what drives a lot of my writing, is just that idea of living to the fullest as a person as much as possible.
Now, somebody wants to learn about your music, see where you're playing. What would be the best way to do that?
Probably my Facebook page, which is Julie, which is just my name, Julia Levitina. It's Julia Levitina Music. I also have a YouTube channel, which has a number of videos from the EP release at World Cafe Live. And yeah, definitely, I like making new friends and meeting new people. So whether it's liking my page or friending me, it's all on there. I think it's on Bandcamp. I'm still kind of learning my way around social media ways of music. Apparently I'm on Spotify. I didn't even know it. So follow me on Spotify. Although I don't know how that works at all. But
okay.
So that would be the best way.
Julia Levitina, thank you very much for being a guest and singing your wonderful songs.
Thank you so much for having me, Ray.
And we'll be back probably next week with Loretta Hagen, and hopefully we'll see you then.